What got me through horrible times was the dark side. My name is David Goggins. I created Goggins. Goggins is the guy that can take anything you put in front of him. You wanna break my legs? So be it. I have a way of going to a place like I did in that race where all the pain and suffering that they put on top of me in Hell Week, I will reverse that pain and suffering and I will take your soul. What they do in Hell Week, because this is where I really went to the dark side. It's 130 hours of continuous training. You may get 2 hours of sleep and they beat the out of you and find everything wrong with your mentality. And then they start Hell Week. And that's the beauty of it. So every instructor that put me through BUD/S, my job, what drove me, was I wanted you to go home that night after you beat the living shit out of me and I smiled in your face. I wanted you to feel worse than I did and you were going home to a nice warm bed with your wife or your kids and a nice meal, and I was still out there in the grip, suffering for another 100 hours. I wanted you to think about me knowing that I'm comfortable, being very comfortable. So the dark side is something that I've designed. It's an evil place I can go that very few things can hurt me. I use the hurt you're trying to put on me, I flip it upside down and use it as power pillars for me. I'm using it for strength.
I took my pain and turned it into a career. I took my pain and turned it into a 4-year degree. I took my pain and turned it into a PhD. Listen to me, I cannot stop what happens to me, but I can dictate how I respond. The problem with some of you in this room, you will never be great because every time you go through pain, every time you go through a problem, every time you go through discouragement, you give up and you quit and you do not understand that at the end of pain is your million. At the end of pain is your productivity. At the end of pain is your promise. So do me a favor, stop crying about it and use your energy to get through it.
It's easy when it's easy. It's easy to win a race against 3-year-olds. It's easy to win a spelling test against kindergarten people, right? It's easy when it's easy. But the challenge is when it's hard. You want to challenge, you want to learn, you want to win the big game, you want to get better. Growth is contagious. Growth is intoxicating. And you get that through pain. And you get that through failure. If there was no pain in your life, that means you played it so safe that you never took a risk, and that's the biggest pain of all. That's the biggest failure of all.